Hey everybody, Coach Hart here with System Basketball. And today I've been watching the NBA Finals, and most of you that know who I am know that I'm a DDM coach and a proponent of the Dribble Drive Motion offense. So as I've been watching the series, been noticing how Boston Celtics sometimes go to Dribble Drive Motion concepts. And today I wanted to share with you what I'm observing and why I think they space this way and why it may be different for a youth coach and a high school coach and even college coaches compared to how they space. A lot of that has to do with the NBA help rules. There's 3 seconds in the key. They can't stand in the key longer than 3 seconds. So maybe they stretch in what I'm going to show you here. If you can do me a favor, if you're tuning in live, let me know where you're joining me from. If you're on the YouTube channel, type in hashtag YouTube. If you're in the Facebook group, let me know if you're on the Facebook group. Before I get started, if you could help me out, Hart, like it in Facebook, like the video on YouTube, and then subscribe to the channel so that it reaches more people, and this video can help more people. If you would like to do that, and will help me out to reach more coaches to help as well. So I appreciate it. So we're going to get started here. Alrighty. Show on stream. All right. Okay. All right. Okay, so first thing to notice here is traditional DDM spacing would be slot and slot. So Horford is over here in what I would call a stretch, or if people are familiar with two-sided break, it'd be stretch and corner with a post. So first of all, their spacing here is a little bit different. And the reason behind this, I believe, is, like I said, in the NBA, if Wiggins puts his feet inside that key area to help, he has to keep going in and out to avoid an illegal defense call. The other thing I notice is the dunker spot is really wide and really short cornerish. So let's look at, so when they went middle penetration here, it really puts them in a tough spot. If Wiggins helped there, now Curry is going to be a 2-on-1 situation. So they didn't do the traditional go behind like you would, that is taught by most people, myself included. They stay stationary and let that player play. And they're more stationary off of their reads and either will stampede the catch, so run into it from that wing 45 and get downhill from there. So that's one of the things I've noticed by watching them in the finals. So here is just some fluff action, and now they're going to get back to that spacing again that we showed. Now, Jaylen Brown has conquered the middle even more. So you got a double gap here. You got a decent sized gap here. Not great spacing here between these two players. But let's take a look at what, so we would call this a window. So traditional DDM would teach go behind, and then this player's lifting. They didn't do that. They stayed stationary again. Probably because of the 3-second rules, it helps them out a lot. And the spacing is different. Okay. So here's your drive. And like I said, they can't be in that key for longer than 3 seconds. What I like that they did is Wiggins is helping. Looney's coming over to make this tough. And something that we can probably start looking at doing, the post screens this defender So for the skip, they cannot get out to it. And now this is a closer pass for a one more pass. But because traditionally we would have them there, and this is where Tatum would be. So the pass would come here and you'd get the one more that way if people were helping, if you were running what most people do. So it's just some thoughts and some opinions on maybe keeping your players spaced wider there and not having them drag behind and drag up. Not sure. I have to mess with it and see how I would like to do it. So I'd like to hear people's thoughts and comments in the Facebook group and even on YouTube about why they think the Celtics stay stationary. Did I hit it on the head where it's probably has a lot to do with the NBA 3 seconds and defensive rules, or they want to just keep as much space as possible because their players are that dynamic? Okay, this is a little bit of an entry that I like that creates a good gap. And we're going to take a look at the spacing. So they ghosted. So let's go back to the beginning there. Let's scrub it back. Okay, so they set a ram screen for a guard. Horford's the post player now in this lineup. And now he ghosts and gets the ball on the move and gets into a DHO with Jaylen Brown. Now, the first thing I see is I talk about NBA spacing on a high school court. Well, here they're like, look, Marcus Smart is there. Jaylen Brown's turning corner. So by him being there, he's the nail help. If this player helps, Smart's going to get into a stampede and be able to drive that gap. So he's staying high and wide. Okay. Got the help. And now he respaces it. And look, so now he was up here. He even went further to the sideline. He's shooing away that screen. He likes his matchup. So Smart is stretched to the sideline, stretch spacing, and now he's able to get into the paint and make a running floater. So they went wide, nobody coming behind him on the middle drive. Again, they stayed stationary and wide with a two-sided attack. Okay, they were kind of in transition. So if Horford isn't ahead of the ball, they like to set a lot of drag screens and then flow into DDM concepts. Okay, so now they don't care. They're sending someone the dunker spot. It isn't their post. They're sending Marcus Smart to the dunker spot, and they got to stretch spacing here and here, corner, and now he's working behind the scenes in the dunker area. So something to think about. Maybe put different players in the dunker spot, move your post to the perimeter a little bit, and sneak other players in to not make the defense have to guard in different areas. So like that, I liked how they moved a guard into the dunker spot instead of always having the post player there. So if you're a 5-out team, you can still start incorporating and moving some of your other pieces into that dunker spot. So you get that dish off layup opportunities. Okay, messy possession here. Now, this is what I wanted to show is there are 3-side over here. And Derek White went baseline drive. They 45 cut on the baseline drive on 3-side spacing. Something to look at in your offense. If you're a 5-out team and someone rips it baseline, maybe you have that stretch player cut diagonal. Really liking why I watch the NBA, even though I'm a high school coach, to learn new ways to space, new ideas, and then have to see if it will equate to the level that I coach. like to take some of it won't, some of it will. Okay, there's your drag in transition. So I've taught this, if my post is kind of hanging back and they're not ahead of the ball, we set some middle drags. And again, they're spaced two side. And now that leaves operating room. And now they're adjusting to his penetration. And he shoots another little floater in the lane. Okay, no post there. Dribble at, and got him with the back door. So there's a concept. There's a DDM concept, basketball concept. Dribble ats equal back doors. Okay. So he dribbled at. Now this works again so much in the NBA. Curry cannot be in the key helping, or it's a 3-second potential. So that spacing and being so wide like this is, and some of these actions happen so much easier in the NBA because of the defensive rules. But again, they're spaced. They got a trailer wide. They're going to 5 out like delay break. So that spacing allows them to get this out of transition. Okay, White was going to come up and set a screen, and Tatum rejected it. And now this is going to be more of a traditional, what we can come to expect. Okay, throws that skip pass. And now they're playing off of it. And Pritchard shoots a catch and shoot 3. That one got snuck in there. This selection to get what they wanted. And now they're 5 out. 2 side, 2 and a 2 side. They're double 2-sided. So it's traditional 5 out. And the spacing rules. Most times people would be doing that, but I think he stays because he doesn't want to bring Clay in. And the 3-second defensive is helping him here so that he can get into the paint for a one-on-one finish. So those are my thoughts, opinions on dribble drive with Boston and the spacing. It's been unique to watch it. I think they're at their best just watching them when they let Jaylen Brown get the ball in those situations, in isolation situations where he can get into the paint and make some decisions and then space them with shooting. I'd like to hear from you guys. Like I said, send the comments in YouTube and the Facebook group. And if I can help you guys in any way with your dribble drive, I do have a course with Kurt Gelsdorf on the dribble drive where we cover it from A to Z, from implementation, drills, versus all sorts of defense, and how to organize your practices and skill develop. So you can reach out to me on the Facebook group, send me a comment on YouTube, or reach me at coachmarchart@gmail.com. Thank you guys for joining me, and I'll see you on the next video.